Good day everyone, my name is Christipani Amla Rubis and my topic is all about water pollution.
The Philippines is one of the biggest plastic pollutants on the planet with 0.28 to 0.75 million tons of plastic escaping into the waters each year from coastal locations in Manila Bay, together with hundreds of thousands of tons of plastic waste that are dumped in that country's rivers. The world's most polluting river when it comes to plastic is the 27-kilometer Pasig River, which runs through Metro Manila, accounting for 63,000 tons of plastic entering oceans from rivers per year. How does water pollution affect people's health in the Philippines? Such waste can spread disease-causing organisms and can cause waterborne diseases such as gastroenteritis, diarrhea, typhoid, cholera, and hepatitis. An estimated 58% of the groundwater in the Philippines has been contaminated with coliform bacteria and should be treated. How can we prevent water pollution in the Philippines?
One of the national environmental issues is the climate change. Climate change is a global and national environmental issue, causing long-term changes in Earth's weather patterns, primarily driven by human activities like fossil fuel burning, deforestation, and industrial processes. Its impact weather patterns, leading to more frequent and severe heat waves, storms, and extreme events, affecting agricultures, infrastructures, and water resources. Rising temperatures affect ecosystems, agricultures, and public health, while melting glaciers and thermal expansions of seawater cause rising sea levels, posing threats to coastal nations. Economic impacts include infrastructures damage, reduced agricultural productivity, and increased costs for disaster response and recovery. National security is threatened by resources scarcity and displacement, while public health is affected by increased exposure to diseases and air pollution. Biodiversity loss is another concern. The health of the earth, biodiversity, and human well-being are all seriously threatened by climate change, which make it an urgent worldwide issue that calls for mitigations and adaptations measures. Loss of biodiversity, and deteriorations of infrastructure, laws and policies are in place to address this effect. And also, climate change is considered as national environmental issue due to its direct and indirect impact on a nation's environment, economy, public health, security, energy, infrastructures, international obligations, environmental stewardships, and political pressures. It can lead to altered weather patterns, sea level rise, extreme weather events, and ecosystem shifts affecting natural resources, infrastructures, and overall environmental well-being. Addressing climate change can help safeguard economic stability, protect public health, and ensure national security. Transitioning to cleaner energy resources or sources and building climates. Resilient infrastructure is crucial for mitigating climate change, meeting international obligations, addressing environmental stewardships, and addressing public pressures drive national action.
Philippines is a nation known for its iconic islands that house some of the world's wettest sands and most transparent waters. Unfortunately, the Asian nation has also made waves by being crowned as the world's biggest ocean plastic polluter. The Philippines had the largest share of global plastic waste discarded in the ocean in 2019. The country was responsible for 36.38% of global oceanic plastic waste. According to a 2021 study, 80% of plastic waste comes from rivers and 7 of the top 10 plastic polluted rivers in the world are in the Philippines. The Philippines prides itself on having one of the world's most diverse marine biodiversity. The country holds an extensive system of coral reefs, which is dubbed as the rainforest of the sea and the essence of marine ecosystems, with 25% of the ocean's fish relying on them for shelter, food, and reproduction. Unfortunately, this centralization of dependence is easily overthrown once coral reefs encounter threats such as rising ocean temperatures and plastic pollution. Around 9 million tons of plastic waste get into the ocean every year. Millions of marine animals die because they mistake the plastics for food or get entangled in it. With plastic, the risk increases to 89% due to the spread of pathogens. It will disrupt marine ecosystems and causes nearby sea animals to consume microplastics. Microplastics are smaller pieces of plastic generated through processes such as weathering and exposure to wave action and more. It will impact on the environment and especially on human health because microplastics contain highly toxic and harmful chemicals. Some causes of this problem is that the population often lacks awareness of plastic pollution and the mismanagement of the government. Instead of merely focusing on reducing plastic use, governments should also consider increasing the accessibility to proper disposal facilities. The Waste Management Act that applies the method of prohibition of open dumps for solid waste and by adopting systematic waste segregation must be carried forward. By increasing the number of accessible recycling bins, people would be one step closer to classifying their trash. By imposing fees or even bans on the use or production of plastics, people would have no plastics to throw into the seas. By simply raising awareness, more Filipinos would act against plastic pollution.
And I choose these issues, which is plastic pollution. A plastic pollution is the accumulation of plastic objects and particles in the Earth's environment that adversely affects humans, wildlife, and their habitat. Plastic that acts as pollutant are categorized by size into micro, meso, or macro debris. So when we talk about plastic pollution, a plastic pollution comes in many forms with plastic litter, marine debris, and plastic particle pollution to name the most common. Also, a plastic pollution can alter habitats and natural processes, reducing ecosystem ability to adapt to climate change, directly affecting millions of people's livelihood, food, production, capabilities, and social well-being. The growing rate of plastic production raises problems in many areas of our society. It's contributing to waste and pollution issues. It's also impacting our health, and it's threatening our oceans and wildlife. For further information about plastic pollution, plastic pollution is one of the main causes of pollution of marine ecosystem and extension of aquatic species. Plastic waste makes up about 80% of all marine pollution, which indirectly even ends up in our food. There are issues about plastic pollution. Plastic pollution is a global problem. Every year, 19 to 23 million tons of plastic waste leaks into aquatic ecosystem, polluting lakes, rivers, and seas. Plastic pollution is widespread problem affecting the marine environment. It threatens ocean health, the health of marine species, food safety and quality, human health, coastal tourism, and contributes to climate change.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Manuel. So, my chosen issue was deforestation. Deforestation has become a widespread issue in the Philippines due to a combination of factors. So, one of the reasons for this issue was the rapid population growth, coupled with the high demand for agricultural land, has led to extensive clearing of forests for farming. In addition, illegal logging and unsustainable forestry practices have further exacerbated the problem. So, the need for economic development and the exploitation of the natural resources has sometimes taken precedence over conservation efforts. Moreover, inadequate enforcement of environmental regulations had allowed destructive activities to persist, contributing to the loss of vital forest ecosystems. As a concerned citizen, there are several ways to help address this issue. First was by supporting and participating in community-based reforestation and conservation projects can make a significant impact. This could involve volunteering time or resources to tree planting initiatives. In addition, by advocating for stronger enforcement of anti-illegal logging laws and stricter regulations on land conversion can help combat deforestation. Engaging in educational campaigns and raising awareness about the importance of forest and sustainable land use practices is also crucial. Lastly, supporting policies and initiatives that promote sustainable agriculture and response resource management can contribute to long-term solutions for preserving the Philippines' precious natural heritage.
Global warming is the extraordinary increase in Earth's surface temperature due to the increase in the concentration of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. Global warming also is a real and impending threat to human civilization. It's all because of human activity, specifically the burning of fossil fuels. The burning of fossil fuels releases greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. The greenhouse gases are the heat-trapping gases, which are methane gas, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and CFC, which means chlorofluorocarbon. So the more we will burn fossil fuels, the more greenhouse gases will be released and it will trap more heat. So as a result, it will increase the surface temperature of the Earth, which can cause the global warming. Greenhouse gases are the main cause of global warming. The effects of global warming include more extreme weather conditions, frequent natural disasters, and the wildfires. To combat with this, we need to reduce greenhouse gases emissions and transitions to renewable energy sources.
Air pollution. Air pollution is a significant problem in the Philippines, with industrial waste and automobiles causing air pollution that affects 98% of the population. The Philippines, and especially its capital, the Metro Manila, it's just subjected to air pollution just like any other country in Asia. So the air pollution also refers to the release of pollutants into the air that is detrimental to human health and the planet as a whole. Air pollution occurs when harmful or excessive quantities of substances, including gases, particulates, and biological molecules, and introduced into the Earth's atmosphere. These are the example of the process of air pollution in the Philippines. First is the vehicular emissions, power plants, oil refinery, industrial facilities, and factory emissions, and agricultural activities. And lastly is the volcanoes. So the Philippines is currently pushing back against the pollution and through the implementation of various laws and ordinances. So one of this is the Republic Act number 8749, or the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. So, the RA 8749 currently serves as the foundations of the country's with the air quality management. So, it aims to raise awareness about pollution prevention through programs as aligned as Venus discussed, planning coupled with Bantay Tambuksik and Bantay Sumo. So the RA also aims to enforce standards on stationary sources of pollution, such as factories and power plants. The RA 8749 comprises the cooperation of agencies such as the Department of Environment and Natural Resources of DENR and other agencies. So, air pollution is a serious threat to our health and environment, but we can take steps to fight it. Thank you.
There are lots of threatening practices in our marine ecosystem nowadays. This includes destructive fishing practices that has been done in many rural areas that generates violence in marine ecosystem. Overfishing, overexploitation of fish stocks can lead to population declines and, in some cases, species extinction, disrupting the balance of the ecosystem. Habitat destruction practices consistent with trying habitats to others and sensitive ecosystem Ecosystem imbalance. Disrupting marine food webs through overfishing and habitats destruction can have cascading effects impacting order, species, and overall stability of marine ecosystem. Addressing this issue requires sustainable fishing practices, better regulation, enforcement of fishing laws, and increased awareness of the importance of preserving our ocean future generation. However, as a human being, it is our duty to maintain and protect our habitats and as part of our daily life that gives natural resources to us in order for us to live normally and sustain income.